conspiracy theory, okay, coined long before JFK assassination. Go lower to take a look at the article. Okay, claim the terms conspiracy theories were created by CIA agency following APS assessment. False recorded use of the phrase conspiracy theory dates back to 1863, and it was notably invoked reports following the 1881 shooting. Then President James Garfield, more than 60 years before the CIA was established. An academic review of the digital library found the term conspiracy theorist has been published at least in the last. What do you say to something like this, where they're quick to jump on it to say CIA didn't come up with the conspiracy theory?
You mean that they're calling it a conspiracy theory?
Yes.
That conspiracy theory came from the CIA?
Yes.
Go read the Church and Pike documents. The Church and Pike Committee was the most effective House and Senate oversight of the U.S. intelligence agencies. They received death threats. They were followed and intimidated. They came up with it. So it's not like we pulled it out of thin air. The Church and Pike Committee discovered not just the heart attack gun, which is a real thing, by the way. They discovered a gun that they could shoot somebody and make it look like they had a heart attack, fake an autopsy. But they discovered that the Central Intelligence Agency, via Operation Mockingbird, a real thing, used the term conspiracy theory and got it into public opinion as a way to try to discredit dissident opinion. It's in the Church and Pike documents, so people can read it for themselves. The Church and Pike Committee was, what year did it, was it 70-something? Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, 76, right? Yeah, I mean, it's all there. There are thousands of pages of documents that most Americans aren't even aware of. You'll learn more about your government. I can never pronounce it right. COINTELPRO, Operation Mockingbird. There's 5 or 6 of these projects that the intelligence agencies are running that the Pike Committee uncovered.
In your opinion, all this conspiracy theory stuff, what turned out to be the biggest non-conspiracy theory?
Epstein's up there.
And what do you think is actually a conspiracy theory that Americans like, hey, sorry to break it to you.
Lie versus truth is a better. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, there's several. I mean, one of the ones we lived under in the last couple of years was that somehow closing schools and getting kids away from each other is somehow going to stop the spread of the virus. And if you push back against it, you're anti-science and you're believing in conspiracy theories, right? That's a really big one. How about that the vaccine is safe and effective and going to stop transmission? I mean, they said
my mom got diagnosed with COVID today. She had every booster on the planet.
Yeah. So I mean, that was
today.
Today. I'm like, how are you feeling, Mom?
Theory.
COVID.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
I think there's a lot to the JFK assassination. I personally believe there was more than one shooter. I think there's a lot of evidence to support that. We don't know that for a fact because they keep on suppressing the release of those documents. I think that this idea that somehow we got off a metallic-based currency just for good and noble reasons, I think is insane. Just read The Creature of Jekyll Island, which is, I think, one of the most illuminating books on currency.
Pat took his whole team to Jekyll Island at one point. Did you know?
Yeah, we had in the room where they came up with the whole thing. We had a meeting there. Yeah.
So anyway, I could go on and on.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there's several of them. How about this? When we used to say that there weren't weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, we were all called conspiracy theorists. Turns out there weren't. They found some biological and chemical agents, but nothing near what they told us it was, right? Which was kind of the core centerpiece of, I think, the illegal mistake to invade Iraq, one of the worst mistakes in American history. Yep.
So what's on the flip side?
What do you mean?
Meaning, like, what actually probably is a conspiracy theory?
Oh, man. You
Did we land on the moon? Is the Earth round?
Yes, we do have a spherical rounder. Yes, yes, that is correct. You could prove it.
Yeah.
And you could prove it mathematically. You could prove it flying in a plane. You could prove it when you see a boat that all of a sudden just disappears on the horizon. That's how you know you live on a spherical rounder.
No, those are the dragons over the edge.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why we have to carve the goddess in the front of our boat to protect us.
How about the moon? How about the moon landing? You think we landed on the moon?
Yeah, I do. I think we landed on the moon. And the reason being is that, look, I don't have any, I'm going to get so much hate mail for this, and that's fine. But generally, that one seemed too big to cover up. That there would take too many people and too many actors and too many fake stories. And I think there was a really good Mythbusters that actually went against the kind of flag waving part of it. Again, I don't...
What about 9/11?
I do not think it was an inside job. I think our government probably had aforementioned notice. Yeah, I think our government probably knew that 9/11 was going to happen. That they had ignored intelligence reports. There's too much to suggest that we allowed the hijackers into our country, and we did nothing to stop it.
So you do think it was an inside job?
That's not an inside job necessarily.
Oh, okay.
An inside job would say that the government was actively planning explosives and wanted it to happen. I think that there was probably a turn of the head on, for whatever reason, you could figure it out, and we probably will one day, of some sort of domestic attack that the Islamic fundamentalists were plotting or planning. But I think it goes too far to say that our government was planning explosives in the World Trade Center. I don't see any evidence.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.